Good morning, welcome to Ekate's Crossing as we look at the week ahead spread. Now I'm going to use the New Mythic Oracle, New Mythic Tarot with the Mythic Oracle and the Greek reading cards. So let's put the Oracle cards to one side for a second and let's have a shuffle of the New Mythic Tarot. So let's have a look and see what are we thinking about for the week ahead. What's important to us for the week ahead? What do we need to reflect on? Here. Okay. Oops, this card. So let's have a look. What have we got? Okay, interesting. So we've got Knight of Cups with Knight of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Eight of Cups, and Eight of Swords. It was very interesting considering they were spread out all over the place. Okay, so firstly we've got Knight of Cups with Knight of Swords. So we've got that sense of there's movement, okay? We know there's movement going on in your life this week. There's a lot of stuff happening. You've got that sort of youthful energy with sort of got some news coming. And you might find yourself feeling like you're rushing. You're moving into something quite quickly. There does seem to be that you're going into battle, you're going into the thing. So it's a reminder to sort of just make sure that you strategize, you plan with the news that arrives, that you strategize and plan before you actually make any movement forward. Super, super important. There's a lot to actually learn. This week there's a lot to discover. There's a lot of stuff that's coming into play here. A lot of stuff that you need to sort of look at in regards to the fact of moving forward. Being very aware of how much you're giving of yourself is going to be very important. Having that sense of harmonious energy in regards to maybe your wealth or your health in many ways as well. So there is that sense of making sure that you are receiving as much as you're giving out here. So you've got the sense of there's movement forward. We know there's movement going on. There's a lot of you learn and discovering, but it's a reminder that when you actually get the news or the information that you actually need in regards to the situation, it could be quite emotional information coming through. It's a reminder to not rush into anything, to slow down a little bit, make sure you strategize and plan, because there's still a lot to learn and discover, a lot to sort of develop within this situation. So it's going to be quite important for you to make sure that you receive as much as you're giving out. It's a harmonious energy that's going on here. Environment is going to be very important, to make sure you've got a harmonious environment, that you've got that sense of taking a moment. I do feel like you need to sort of take a moment. There is going to be time during the week where you're just going to have to take some time out to sort of review where you are. Take a moment to sort of reflect on what's happening and what's going on, making sure you're taking care of yourself, you're resting is going to be very important. There are some things that you actually need to let go of, that you need to walk away from, because there's something that's making you feel like you're trapped, you're limited, by maybe some thoughts or ideas, maybe someone else's perception is sort of trapped, making you feel like you're trapped. And so you've got to be able to have those moments of knowing that you're limitless, that anything's absolutely possible, that you can walk away from those things that are keeping you trapped. So take a moment to sort of take a pause for a second to sort of take care of yourself. I think there's a lot of nurturing of the mind is going to be very important here. So you've definitely got some news happening. I do feel like you've got some information coming into you. And so be very careful about running away from or running into battles. You know, make sure you've got all the information first before you run into the battle, because there's still some stuff that you need to learn or discover about the situation that's going on. You do need to make sure that you have, I do feel like with this here, I get this information with these cards all coming together, that you have all the information you need before you react. Make sure you have all the information before you react to the situation. Don't jump to conclusions is what I'm getting here. Could be a week where you're given some information, but you need to fact check it. You need to fact check that information before you react. I think that's super important here, making sure you fact check the information that you're given before you actually react is going to be super important here, before you walk away from that chaos, that drama. I feel like you're walking away from that drama and allowing yourself that ability to sort of really sort of take care of yourself, and know that you're not limited by other people's perceptions. I think that's very important here, to know that you're not limited by other people's perceptions, that you have the ability to leave behind all that drama and make your own choices. You know, be wise in your own knowledge. I think that's super important here, from your own experiences. Don't take don't take people's information for granted. Make sure you fact check, you get all the information that you need before you react to any situation that's going on at the time. Very important. It's a very interesting reading that's come through here. It does feel like you're going to be given some information and it may not be 100% correct, so you do need to make sure that you have all the information before you react to the situation. Okay, so with the Mythic Oracle, let's have a look and see what deity are we going to work with here? What cards are we going to, what message do we have here in regards to this situation? And the card that's popped out is about courage. I think it's about having the courage to do what you need to do for yourself and not rely on other people. I think there's a sense of using your own knowledge, your own wisdom, your own experience to have the courage for you to actually move forward here. I think that's going to be a super important process here. I think that's going to be super important. So to actually have that courage to actually move ahead here. And I am getting another card popping out here, and I've got Charon with healing. So I think you're going to, with healing. So I think you're going to have, when you're talking about that, having that courage to do what you need to do, remember with the information you've been given and your fact checking, it may cause unnecessary for you to do some self-healing. Some healing for yourself is going to be super important here. So I do feel like it's going to be a bit of a healing process going on as you go through this. So let's have a look at the Greek reading cards and let's see what message we get here. Oh, and this one here is popping out. Here we get the with time. So I think time's going to be a very important factor here. To take your time is what I'm getting here. It's not about rushing time. It's about allowing things to sort of happen in divine timing, knowing that, yes, you've got the information that comes in. So again, it's fact checking, not rushing the time that you've got. You've got to take time to make sure you've got all the information that you actually need. So I think timing is going to be very important here, that you react in a timely manner. Super important here. Oh, interesting, because we get the sense of nurturing. Okay, mother with nurturing oneself, taking care of oneself, making sure that you know, I do feel like you're taking care of other people around you, but it's very, very important that you are sort of taking care of yourself as well. So we do have, so the cards we have here is Demeter and the Horai, and we do have Perseus with courage, and Chiron with healing. So yeah, I think it's very important here to really sort of take the time to build up the courage that you actually need to move through the healing. You know that it's not something that you can rush. I think you really need to sort of take your time to sort of take care of yourself, to nurture yourself. Even those around you, you're nurturing those. Be careful not to smother people as well. I think this is a great reminder to not smother those around you. It's okay to take care of people, to make sure you're receiving as much as you're giving out. And when you're giving out, when you're giving unconditionally to others, make sure you're not smothering them as well. I think that's very important when you have that sense of where was that about the Six of Pentacles here, with that sense of giving unconditionally. Again, that you have that mother where you give unconditionally, and that's okay, but just make sure that you're not smothering people, you're not overdoing it. You have that sense of balance in a way with timing there as well, so that's very, very important. So very interesting message when you look at that as a whole picture, making sure you have all the facts before you jump into anything. Make sure that you have all the information you need. Make sure that you are you're giving unconditionally, but make sure you're not smothering people as well, making sure you receive as much as you're giving. You've got these cards have so many layers to them. When you look at things a little deeper, you can look at that sense of Four of Swords, about maybe you've got to take a break from everything, take a moment to pause. Don't be in such a hurry with everything going on. Know that you're unlimited, but there are times when you've got to walk away from that chaos or other people's perceptions, and walk away from other people's perceptions and look at what your knowledge, what you've learned or what you've gained, information that you've gained, from your own experiences and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with these cards. So take a moment, sort of take a breath. Don't be in a rush to move through thing. There are 24 hours in a day. There are 7 days in a week. There are those 31 days, between 28 and 31 days in a month. There is that thing. You don't have to rush through everything. There are times when things sort of can be slowed down a little bit, especially when you don't have all the information that you may need. Don't jump to conclusions is super important here. Making sure that you don't smother people by those assumptions, that's super important here. Make sure that you are nurturing yourself as well as others. Make sure you have that give and take. Is that balance, harmonious energy is super important. Physically, making sure that you know that you are limitless. Anything's absolutely possible. With the Eight of Swords, there are lots of possibilities here. Don't feel like you're restricted or you're trapped by other people's perceptions. Super, super important. So there's a lot of stuff going on this week. It does feel like it's going to be a very sort of full-on, intense sort of week. Feels like there's going to be a lot of movement going on, a sense of trying to make things complete. And the reason why I say making things sort of complete is because you've got these eights going on here. You're trying to sort of complete things. But you do need to be very careful that you're not trying to rush that sense of completeness. I think that's very important, that you are sort of taking your time about this, is what I'm getting here. Everything's got to be, I think time management's going to be super important in the process as well. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care, and blessed be.